host a show called Nerd Alert, so you wouldn't expect me to lose my mind over a romantic comedy, but I did, and it's Crazy Rich Asians. And I think this movie does a really good job of capturing a lot of not even the Asian American experience, but maybe the immigrant experience, or of being of two worlds, of feeling like you're not enough on one side or you're too much on the other side, and just having this kind of isolating experience of your own identity. But with this movie, it took a lot of different ways to show that maybe you're not alone in feeling like a weirdo or an immigrant, or, you know, as an Asian American, as a Hapa, I've definitely felt this way of being of two worlds and not really accepted in either. And a lot of this was captured actually through the music. So there was one song in particular, though the whole soundtrack is pretty good. It has a woman singing in Mandarin, but songs you might remember from your childhood or your grandparents' childhood, because there's some big band music.
What kind of, is big band music?
Some of it is.
But done in Mandarin.
But done in Mandarin. So there's older songs, but there's newer songs too, like Material Girl, Mandarin. That song that goes, money, that's what I want.
Yeah.
But one song in particular was considered a little controversial by the studio, and that is Yellow from Coldplay. So Yellow, you know, it has different meanings for the Asian or Asian American community. It can be used as a slur. It can be something you own. In this case, it was more something that John Chu, the director, owned, and I think as an audience member, I felt really good about when I heard it for once in my life, because it was constructed in a way of reclaiming the word. So initially, Coldplay did not want to give them the song because they've been accused many times of cultural appropriation. They had a music video with Rihanna dressed up like a Chinese princess.
Yeah, I can see how they'd be
There have been a few other times where they've gotten in trouble for something like that, but they initially rejected. So John Chu sent them a letter directly about his complicated relationship with the title, saying, "For the first time in my life, it described the color in the most beautiful, magical ways. The color of the stars, her skin, the love. It was an incredible image of attraction and aspiration that it made me rethink my own self-image." So after allowing him to use the song in the movie, he wrote, "It would give a whole generation of Asian Americans and others the same sense of pride I got when I heard your song." And then they quickly, within an hour, got back to him and said, okay.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. It's really sweet. What is the original meaning of the song?
It's
from the band.
I mean, they talk about, it's a song, so it's kind of interpretive, but they talk about, you know, the color of the stars. Maybe they liken the woman to having a yellowish hue, so you could interpret it in a negative way.
Because people were saying they were racially insensitive, but was it for this song? Like years ago when this song came out?
I'm not sure what the history of this song is exactly, but they've been racially insensitive in other ways.
The music video for it is very melancholy and black and white and not yellow at all, to my recollection. Like it is just, I think when I listened to it for the first time, I was like, it kind of, the feel of the song, the sound of the song just kind of tries to describe an entire feeling as just yellow. And it doesn't seem to me like they really explain why. It's just like, here are a bunch of circumstances, and for some reason, it's all yellow to me. I don't know why, but that's.
And maybe in songs, there aren't that many concepts that haven't yet had a whole song done about them. So if you discover one, you gotta jump on it.
Well, it's interpretive. I mean,
Back in Black,
but
done.
In particular,
I'm blue.
The studio didn't want to do it because they were like, can we do this? This is gonna cause controversy. And John Chu said, well, a white director couldn't do it. So what he's saying is, it needs to be kind of, if you own it, if you reclaim it, you can use it in your own interpretation, which he did. And I think it came together really well. I actually went to a big screening of this movie. My friend Grant Imahara, you may know him from Mythbusters, he bought out 2 theaters in the opening weekend.
Wow.
Because this sucks. But when you think of, you know, movies that tell a story from, you know, a different perspective, if it fails, the lesson Hollywood is going to take away is, oh, they don't want these kinds of movies. That's why we had to come out for Crazy Rich Asians. That's why we had to come out for Black Panther, for Wonder Woman. You have to show that, yes, there is an appetite and a need for these stories that are not traditionally what we would have seen.
Yeah, and I can't imagine the pressure on the people making those movies, like, because there's the studio that's like, well, it's really on you this time. And then that thought you must get after you sign the papers, like, we are actually going through with this. I can't imagine the amount of pressure you must feel.
Well, Netflix offered them a lucrative deal. They would have made a lot of money, guaranteed 3 movies, but they turned it down because it was so important for this to make it to a wide cinematic release.
To actual theaters.
Yeah.
And it did really well.
The story behind like getting this song for this, that's beautiful. I think it's cool. I'm glad the band came back around and said yes. I don't know, it's really cool.
Awesome.
I think it's sweet.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it shows that there is an appetite for this, and there is an area of stories that, maybe we do need to see different perspectives, or ones that we haven't commonly dug into before, because there are interesting stories from a variety of cultures and perspectives.
Yeah. And maybe speaking from my perspective, maybe someday there will be a romantic comedy about awkward white people.
Oh yeah?
One day, Brett.
Anyway,
One
yes,
day.
One day, hello. Anyways, it's an Arrested Development reference. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time on Pop Trigger. Hey, did you know that TYT has its own channel on YouTube TV streaming network? It's true. You should go sign up for a free 7-day trial, and then you can get all of our TYT exclusive YouTube TV content, including the Happy Half Hour with me, the Damage Report with John Idarola, which I produce, and the No Filter Show with Anna Kasparian, which I produce. And if you don't watch those shows, then pretty much I don't exist.